We're back?
Yeah.
I didn't just pee while I was in there.
What'd you do? Did you pet Lisa? You ate some ice cream! You ate some ice cream!
How did you
You
know?
motherfucker!
How did you come to that conclusion?
I used my Sherlock fucking sense, you asshole. Let me smell your breath. Oh, you dick!
I had early ice cream.
You fucker. And I sat here like a jerk, just reading the chat.
Ah.
You look so goddamn satisfied.
If I wish to
Bugger.
shape the ice knife, then I need to pour water inside the mold.
Yeah. Oh, wait, are you telling me the Roman method of ice production involves ice? Are you fucking kidding me?
Ice, salt, and then the mixing. It should be elementary. We need to reach minus 20 degrees Celsius to fully freeze the water inside the mold. Before beginning, I must remember that I have enough ice and salt for no more than 4 attempts.
Hugo and Rediger do get lots
Ice,
of pets still.
salt, and then the mixing. It should be elementary. We need a block of ice. I have only to...
Holmes, look. The temperature is reducing.
Nope. No! More ice!
Oh. Eh.
A block of ice.
Oh, okay, cool, yeah.
I don't understand.
I don't understand either. I don't get it. Ice salt, ice salt, ice
It's
salt.
empty. We cannot be making it correctly. Let us try again and be precise with the timing.
So, what the? Oh, god damn it!
Oh, right.
I still don't
Ice,
understand.
Salt, and then the mixing. It should be elementary. We need to reach minus 20 degrees Celsius to fully freeze the water inside the mold. Before beginning, I must remember that I have enough ice and salt for no more than 4 attempts.
But we only need to reach 0 degrees Celsius to freeze the water. In the case of ice cream, the reason you need to use salt is to bring it lower than freezing, because cream needs to be lower. But in the case of water inside the mold,
It should
why
just
can't we
be
just freeze it
0?
with 0 degrees Celsius?
To ensure full freezing?
Holmes, look.
What?
The temperature is reduced.
Fuck no, we don't use Fahrenheit in Canada.
Who the fuck is saying that?
It was just a question. You're doing it.
Watch, he says, too cold.
Oh.
Excellent. Now we must check to ensure that it is adequately frozen.
Very nice.
Very good. So the champagne wasn't actually there to be champagne. It was there to make a knife. It could have been there to make a knife. Because it's the same kind of, like, it's a bunch of ice. It's a bucket. They could have done the same thing to make it.
It's true.
Where was the mold found? At another location.
Yeah. It's
So
this
it
is a
couldn't
red
have.
herring.
It's
An
gotta be.
ice weapon for a cold-blooded murder.
This is the red herring because the blocks were in
An
the wrong
ice
spot.
knife. A surprising and yet a very brilliant idea.
My
the
gray
perfect weapon.
matters.
It enables one to kill a man and then it melts. The only trace it leaves is a small puddle on the ground.
Ice weapon. Champagne. Oh, it was made and then preserved in the ice bucket.
Oh, preserved.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't need to be -20 to be preserved, just to freeze it. I still don't understand how that works. I understand why you need to use salt to make the ice cream, but I don't understand why you need it to freeze water, because that only needs to be frozen at 0. But then again, it does need to be a bit colder, because if you put water in that's higher than 0, then it's not gonna freeze. It's just gonna dissipate its heat out around it.
Yeah.
Because putting ice into a glass of water doesn't freeze the water, it melts the ice. Okay, so I can understand why it needs to be lower.
So are we gonna come to a conclusion now?
Still, it's not an ice maker. Because you're not gonna get a positive like out of it. Alright. Alright, what else is there? Oops. Oops.
We have one more clue left.
Garrow's drug. Connects to what? Wait, is there one more thing to go discover?
There may be. What?
Yeah, I guess talking to the people, we haven't done that in a while, eh? That makes sense. I'm actually surprised I wasn't,
Where are you going?
I always forget how to leave.
You always go to the door and
But
then
it says
door.
door. It doesn't say exit.
That's why we have exit signs on all our doors.
Yeah, because this is just a
Fraser
door.
gets really confused.
I want to go to the store, not the door. Becky! Becky!
Bring her the exit marker.
Help me find the door to the store.
He ate ice cream and now he's all hyper. He gets hyper when he eats ice cream without me.
Mr. Holmes?
Hello, policeman.
Makes him feel special.
I am special.
Please escort this
Thank you.
That was awkward.
Perhaps you could explain the cult of Mithras to me.
No, there is nothing to say. We are not the worthy ones.
But Sir Rodney believed that he was.
He was wrong. I have visions. The golden knife, the mummy. Oh, it's all my fault.
Calm down, Mr. Garrow.
Mummy.
Please. What can you tell me about Mithras?
Oh, so much. It was the core of our work. Why do you ask?
Were you seeking the golden knife?
I see you are an amateur. Yes, the golden knife was our grail. It is said that it bears the only text explaining the ritual of the cult of Mithras.
I understand. I read something about immortality.
A myth. The knife would provide immortality only to the worthy one, and yet it is cursed, and it would kill you if you were not initiated.
Amateur. I think that we use it in a negative connotation these days, but he just used it, I think, in the proper way.
Yeah.
That it was originally intended. Somebody who's just fledgling, like making their way into a subject, but not yet fully versed on it.
We definitely use it with a bit of stank.
Did you expect to find the golden knife at the baths?
Well, Sir Rodney thought that it might be there. Did you observe the knife representations there? They are so extraordinary. And we had hoped... it is a tragedy that he has passed away, taking all of his secrets with him. As soon as I've been released, I will continue Sir Rodney's researches in his memory.
Please escort this suspect for interrogation. The paintings in the baths are focused on Mithras, I understand.
Yes, they are what make this place remarkable.
And that is why Sir Rodney came here?
He believed that the golden knife, which is an ancient ritual item, was hidden somewhere around the baths. I admit that it would be wonderful if it were true.
And you are not concerned by the reputation of this artifact?
You mean the curse? Before someone is dead, it is a blessing. After they are dead, well, then it becomes a curse. Ha!
I want him to be guilty.
Yeah.
Final clue. Did it... Fine. Did we need that this late?
No.
To make that connection? Garrow was tortured by his obsession with the Mithras curse. He has been driven insane, and the condition worsened by a medication that he is taking. Garrow is melancholic. He's a victim of over-medication, hence the hallucinations and unpredictable behavior. His state has been worsened by the shock of Sir Rodney's death. So it's either a weakness or an illness. If you do that, it doesn't connect, not because they're connected, but because the illness draws us to the conclusion of Garrow doing it.
I'd say it's more likely that it's a weakness. I feel like this is the solution.
Isn't it possible that, I mean, Garrow worked on that ring. Like, he can do metalworking. Isn't it possible that he did the crime with the silver weapon? Like this? Motive paranoia. Garrow's suffering was too great. After Sir Rodney's grand discovery, Garrow lived in fear of Mithras' curse and developed heightened feelings of paranoia. Meaning, Garrow with a silver knife. The ice knife makes no fucking sense, because how did the silver end up in the brazier? What, it was just for fun? Like,
and they're like cleaning the place up and getting it ready. This is the first time they've actually put the brazier on. So if there was anything strange in it, I think somehow one of them would have had to put it in there.
yeah, I can't think of, unless, like, what about the glasses and being nearsighted? Could that help explain something? Like, why the knife would end up being put in the brazier? Could the murder still have been done with an ice weapon in addition to silver being placed in the brazier for some other reason? Who knows why? Could he have destroyed the silver weapon because he believed it was cursed? He's nearsighted. Or he's hard of seeing. Could he have seen... Remember, he claims to have seen a gold flash. He said it looked like gold. He could have just been mistaken in the steam. Like, multiple people said it was hard to see.
Yeah, but like,
Could he have thought that the silver knife was the gold knife, and in his panic, wanted it destroyed because?
I don't know. Like, I am nearsighted, and things far away. I don't think that it would affect the colors I'm seeing, you know?
It was steamy too, and panicked. It was a
Wouldn't
crazy situation.
Kind
Here
of
we go.
heighten your senses?
The ice knife. The murderer hid a weapon inside the ice bucket in the champagne. After the attack, the knife was left to melt, so causing an excess of water in the blood pool.
That's so cool.
And then that creates Garrow with the ice knife, or we can have Blinkhorn with the ice knife. I don't think it could be Garrow or Blinkhorn with. I don't think it could be Garrow with the ice knife.
I don't think so either. I feel like that's too. Garrow never went down in the Frigidarium, right?
No. Garrow with the silver knife and the ice knife just being completely not a thing that ever happened.
Yeah.
Being just coincidental that there was champagne and coincidental that there was ice cream maker down in the basement, and the only reason it was there is because they became, like, really, they loved it ever since they went on their expedition, so
Yeah.
it was a tradition to go make ice cream whenever they went
Yeah.
down. But why would the ice cream maker be all the way down in that particular area that down there?
Because that's as far as Sir Rodney had gotten.
Because remember, he gets that far and he can't get out. He had to leave the gold knife behind because you can't get out with more than just one person unless you put the gold knife back.
How did Garrow get the mold for that knife? Did Garrow create the mold for that knife?
Well, the mold, we're not sure how it was created, whether it was an artifact or if somebody created a mold for the
Okay.
fuck of it. We don't know.
That's the other thing. Like, Garrow did some work on the ring, some silver work
Yeah.
on the ring, shoddily. Yet he can.
He's not very good, no, but he could pour silver into a mold. He might not have been able to
Yeah.
make the mold, but he can.
Yeah.
But he can pour silver into a mold.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah.
The thing is, we're talking, like, I mean, to use the sacrificial knife at all, why? Why the sacrificial knife? Like, why that knife in particular? It'd have to be somebody who's heavily invested in the Mithras story and the idea of sacrifice with the knife. And that would make sense for both Blinkhorn and Garrow, because Garrow's crazy and obsessed with all of it, and Blinkhorn's just obsessed with all of it. Mm-hmm. In order to believe he's the murderer in the first place, we have to believe he's a good actor. And he could easily be acting normal when in fact he's, like, insane with believing in Mithras.
Yeah.
Who was the one laughing when they found coins? Blinkhorn
Sir
or
Rodney.
Rodney?
Sir Rodney. Because he came back, he was doing some secret something.
Oops. Okay, that's fine. All right. Conclusions so far, we've got Blinkhorn, Silver Knife, Garrow, Ice Knife, Garrow, Silver Knife. Let's create Blinkhorn, Ice Knife. That means...
Garrow's illness has to be madness, right?
Yeah.
Or
Just a weakness.
Sorry.
Does Pick can connect to anything at this
I
point?
don't know.
Blinkhorn, Ice Knife. We want Blinkhorn, Silver Knife.
Yeah. Ice weapon? Oh, yeah. No, go
Whoops.
back to that one. Steam moisture.
silver knife. But that should be highlighted if it's new. Silver. We didn't make him with... No, there he is. Ice knife.
Darrow
Ice knife,
with silver. We have all of them, right? That's
yeah,
4?
we have them all now.
Okay. And there's only 4, right?
So, yeah. Which one leaves the most orphaned? What leaves the most loose ends?
Doesn't really matter, but I think this one does.
1, 2, 3, and then 1 left as a coincidence, but still connected in another method.
Oh, there's 6?
What?
Oh, we have to do Pitkins. Pitkin.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like, Pitkins
does
hasn't
end
been
up-
attached to anything yet.
Okay.
Pitkin could be... I forgot, he was a suspect. Could he have... So, we have to believe that Blinkhorn was not humiliated then. And that Garrow was just a weakness. Valuable secret, meaning... Even if Pitkin is the owner of the baths, he will surely lose them, for his major discovery will change everything. It will turn the baths into a permanent excavation site to preserve the research. It will never achieve the commercial status that Pitkin desires.
But wouldn't he get a bunch of money from the government? Isn't that how that works if it's an excavation site?
I don't know how it works. Let's just assume he won't, because
Okay.
that's the only way he gets the motivation, and that's never been given to us as info.
Okay. This leaves a lot of loose ends
Yeah.
for 3.5.
Oops. Let's make his... So you got ice knife. He killed Sir Rodney to conceal their discovery. The only way to save the Roman baths from the upcoming excavations, he intended to start his own business. He used an ice-made reproduction of the golden knife of Mithras. Like, I mean, I just don't see him doing that.
No, I don't.
Like, he was the least knowledgeable about all this shit, so why would he have, like, gone through the trouble of getting that particular
Yeah.
murder weapon?
Yeah.
And
I don't feel like it was Pitkin.
we have to keep in mind, like, I mean, the mold was left at the other site, meaning that the ice would have to be created there, then transported in a bucket of ice for champagne
Or-
to the location from the excavation site.
Or it was made at the baths. The ice knife was made at the baths. The ice was put in the bucket of champagne. It
And
was
then he
taken.
went away with it.
It was taken back to the other
Who took it
excavation
back?
site. I don't know. And then came back.
Yeah,
I
it's
guess
pretty
in
inelegant.
that scenario, I'm thinking the guy that I originally thought, Blinkhorn, I think his name is. Again, I don't see this being the case because Pitkin would have to know all about Mithra.
The easiest way to figure this out, I think, well, okay, so I think it has to be a silver knife.
Yeah, I think
Because
so too.
what the fuck is a blob of silver doing there otherwise?
Yeah.
I can't see why the silver was there for any other reason.
Blinkhorn has like the dirt in his hands from the excavation site. I think it was Blinkhorn still.
So who threw so you think the murderer threw the weapon in the brazier to melt it? Or do you think that Garrow did it because he was afraid when he found the dead body? It's possible that he found it, saw the knife, and threw it in the brazier because he's so terrified
Yeah, that's possible.
of the knife. He thought it was the gold knife and
Yeah, maybe.
figured if this isn't destroyed, it's going to kill us all. Why that detail's needed, I don't know.
Did you want to play with Pitkin's endings? Because we know it. Well,
We don't think it's
think
Pitkin.
it's Pitkin.
All right, so Pitkin ice knife.
Sure.
Condemn.
Why did you bring me here? I saw that you released the others.
Sir Gregory, I would ask that you listen carefully to what I am intending to reveal to Inspector Lestrade. You murdered Sir Rodney Bentcliffe in cold blood, and you did it for money.
Well, that's not cold blood.
What?
Oh, no.
No, that's not true.
I am afraid that it is. The ingenious ghost weapon that you used only served to prove the premeditation.
You were insane.
It was a spectacular felony, one that intrigued the police and encouraged the press. Scandal is an excellent means of bringing the public's attention to your baths. And eventually, of course, it brought me too.
You have it
Oh,
all
so
wrong.
the idea of him using
Well,
that
I didn't
mold
expect you to possess much in
was
the way
because
of
it draws
courage.
attention.
Right.
May you be a fraction more inspired before you meet the hangman. Farewell, Sir
Not
Gregory.
believable.
I don't buy that one. Square.
Pitkin was humiliated by Sir Rodney and devised a plan to first eliminate him and then open the baths for business. He used a handmade ice maker to create the ice-made reproduction of the golden knife of Mithras, carried it to the steam room in an ice bucket with champagne, and then, after the murder, dropped the knife onto the floor, allowing it to dissolve. Why couldn't it just dissolve in the guy's eye?
Yeah,
Doesn't need to
that's
be.
what I'd do.
Yeah. Doesn't need to be taken out. I don't know. Choose another ending. Yes. Doop doop doop. So
Are we gonna do the silver knife?
with
ending
him,
then? Yeah.
won't be the exact same.
No.
Nothing about what just played out with Holmes there had anything to do with silver or ice.
Yeah, I
He
guess
just said
not.
ingenious.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, it all had to do with just the knife being. Nulani's played this. She can confirm whether it's worth playing both of those out, but I think it'll be the exact same dialogue.
And what about redeeming him instead of condemning him? Will that give us something different as well?
Not likely. Usually the only difference between redeem and condemn has to do with the final person. I was waiting for Nulani because she seems to have played this recently. Anyways, Pitkin, ice, Pitkin, silver. I'm going to skip silver for now. Let's go Blinkhorn. Weird. They put Pitkin, these two together.
They're all the same for each weapon, yeah.
Okay.
And I believe the same for moral
Yeah.
choice.
All right. Probably except for the
It
last
was
one.
It was for the last case, so.
Blinkhorn, ice knife. Sure. Let's do it.
I'm feeling rather uncomfortable. Why have I been put into these cuffs?
I fear that you had better get used to them, Mr. Blinkhorn. They are your reward for the murder of Sir Rodney Bentcliffe.
It's a terrible reward.
No, that's a lie.
It is regrettable, for you are a talented archaeologist. I will request that you are placed in a prison where you are unable to dig an escape tunnel. That is, of course, if they decide that you shall live.
You...
The consulting detective who salutes your intelligence in performing the perfect crime. Yes, but also the gentleman who detests your motivation.
You know nothing.
You wish to be the one who would reveal this to the world.
Is that the golden knife? How...
I also like to dig, you see. I only followed your trail. Such a pity that there is always someone willing to steal your credit, wouldn't you say? And there was the chance of a lifetime. You had to take it. It was not to be shared.
It...
But now I am here, and there is no one who will stop the tread of justice, Mr. Blinkhorn. Goodbye.
It was not him. That's why we chose that first. Because I still think it was Garrow. I think Garrow went insane.
I'm still not quite sure.
Because, like I said before, it just, no other thing explains a blade being there and the melting of the blade. Like, it just...
But Garrow wasn't associated with that other site.
Let's see what happens here.
Okay.
Send him to the asylum. He's a psychopath. We're unable to determine if his actions were deliberately manipulative or genuine illness. He needs to be put away for life, or send him to the sanatorium for appropriate treatment. He cannot be held responsible for... Fuck that, condemn him.
Oh, I was all for absolve.
What? He may yet be cured? You're for absolve.
I don't know if he should go to the asylum. I don't know if he was a psychopath. I think he just has a mental illness. Perhaps.
I want to condemn him.
What are you doing right now?
Condemn?
Okay, go for it.
Rock, paper, scissors, who gets to decide? I am condemning him.
Mr. Garrow, the game is up. I see straight through you.
You see straight... What?
You have a decided talent in mind manipulation. We all believed
so
your
Samwell.
comedy. The medication almost tricked me, I'll admit, but all of it was fake. The hallucinations, the hysteria. Mr. Garrow, you are a dangerous psychopath and a clever murderer. The method by which you disposed of the crime weapon...
Oh my God! I killed him!
It is no use to deny it. I despise cowardice in any form.
What will you do with me?
You will be sent to a medical institute, where you will receive the best treatment to facilitate your full rehabilitation.
What the good Dr. Watson is trying to say is, life seclusion in a lunatic asylum awaits you.
I would rather be dead.
That is your choice.
Why does that one not feel the same either? Why does that not feel like it was right? Because all the other endings have involved a fist fight or a shootout. Mm-hmm. But why would it being an ice one matter? Why would that change the ending so much?
I don't know.
All right, Garrow with ice.
We'll try that one?
It's the only difference, like, that I can think of.
Okay.
Oh. Yolani says none of the endings play right for this one.
Oh, okay. Every feeling
Oh,
is
really?
kind of the same.
Oh, that sucks.
Okay, so you feel like it's Garrow with the silver knife, which leaves the ice weapon stranded.
The ice weapon didn't need to be a thing at all. There's no reason that it needed to be a thing. It's the only thing that is, like, just circumstantial, whereas the the silver, melted silver, needs to be
Yeah.
explained. It begs to be explained in some way, and we have no other explanation for it. The ice can be explained by coincidence. They happen to have an ice maker down there because they like ice cream.
Yeah.
He likes ice cream. I don't know. Fuck off. And who was in the picture again?
Sir Rodney and another archaeologist.
It wasn't Blinkhorn?
No.
So in the scenario where Blinkhorn's innocent and the ice maker's down there, that just is because Blinkhorn, or because Rodney actually made it that far. Blinkhorn didn't. So, the ice maker being down there doesn't prove Rodney was down there, but Rodney was the one who liked ice cream.
Yeah.
Making it seem like Rodney was the one who made it down that far. That it doesn't really matter. Except for that Holmes seems to really think that Rodney didn't make it that far.
Yeah, which I don't get.
See, it's funny. You choose Silverknife, and Holmes just still says that it's ingenious. So I don't think it matters which one you choose.
Yeah.
At all.
Go to Blinkhorn's interest right now. So you think that Sir Rodney came and Blinkhorn was excited to work with them?
Yeah. He talked even, like in interrogation, he talked about how the guy is hard and not exactly easy to get along with, but he's brilliant.
What does Garrow have to gain in all of this, though? Like, Blinkhorn has
Garrow has nothing to gain.
financial-
He's nuts.
Oh, right.
He's gone insane. He became obsessed with the cult of Mithras, and he believes that, like, going down in there is cursed them all, and he wanted to stop it from going any further.
Oh, man. All right, so do you want to know what the solution is? What the real
Sure.
final
What?
answer is?
What?
Oh, I don't know what it is, but
What's
they
the real
have
one,
it.
and how would you know? This is the only one where, like, the ending doesn't play out differently, so, like, there's no way to really know which one's right. They all kind of... The only difference in the one with Garrow was that Watson showed up. That's the only difference.
I'm really torn between Garrow
Blinkhorn
and
with the ice?
Blinkhorn. What? Sadly. The silver was an offering?
Where is offering noted in the clues that we found? Oh, silver to be offered and melted. Damn it, I forgot all about that
Me
part.
too. Me
That
too.
explains the silver in the brazier, that you're supposed to do that. You're supposed to
Shit,
make
yeah.
a sacrifice and then sacrifice the silver. How did we both forget about that?
Yeah. Fuck. I guess this is kind of a lesson to go back through all the evidence before we really come to a conclusion. I'm happy that it's
This
a nice
whole
night.
time I kept on saying nothing explains the silver melted, and that explains the fucking silver melted.
Yeah.
Was that little document we found about offering up silver.
Yep. All right.
He's devoted his life to discovering the golden knife. Does he deserve mercy?
Nope. You're condemning him?
Yeah. So there's no
I'm
difference.
feeling rather uncomfortable. Why have I been put into these cuffs?
I fear that you had better get used to them, Mr. Blinkhorn. They are your reward for the murder of Sir Rodney Bentcliffe.
What? No, that's a lie.
It is regrettable, for you are a talented archaeologist. I will request that you are placed in a prison where you are unable to dig. That is, of course, if they decide that you shall live.
No difference between the
You,
two different
the
weapons.
You know nothing.
You wish to be the one who would reveal this to the world. I also like to dig, you see. I only followed your trail.
So-
Such a pity that there is always someone willing to steal your credit, wouldn't you
How
say?
do you know?
And there was the chance of a lifetime. You had to take...
It-
But now...
Yeah, you don't know. This one's the only time where you didn't get to, like, punch somebody or shoot somebody, so how do you know? You know from clicking reveal the truth button.
Ah.
Oh. He devised a cunning plan that eliminated his rifle. He used a handmade ice maker, an ice-made weapon. Hey, this doesn't talk about the sacrifice. You just put that together yourself, or did, like... Oh. Oh, you keep going. Weird. Oh, there is a down arrow.
Where? Oh, woo. That's sort of hidden.
It still doesn't talk about melting it to offer. I guess revealing the ending shows you the whole idea about melting.
Fuck, yeah, he did get hanged in the end.
That's something we deduced after knowing the right solution.
Okay. What's wrong? You didn't want to kill him?
No, I like the idea behind this game about having multiple solutions and red herrings and like multiple suspects and outcomes. On the other hand, I still feel like the right solutions don't tie up tight enough to make them a little bit more deducible with smarts.
Yeah.
It seems that you're still, like, I could easily still explain, based on these clues and the way this wraps up, how Garrows could have been the same guy with the same amount of evidence and same certainty. Like, there needs to be just a little extra thing to push it over the edge.
So that you can confidently
That you can confidently say, no, that has to be it because this was a loose end over here and this ties up that loose end.
Yeah.
Whereas, and I feel like that might have happened in the last two cases, but this one in particular felt like there was nothing loose in any of the solutions.
Yeah.
Or rather, too much loose in all the
Not a
solutions.
word. Into your clothes and come.
The game is afoot. There it is.
I'll wait for you in the sitting room. I've just received a note from Inspector Lestrade, a letter from the suburbs. He is in need of my presence. Whenever he has asked for my assistance,
What's the matter?
it has always
Is he-
turned out to be entirely
Oh, he's
justified. I fancy that every one of his cases has found its way into your collection.
Yes, they all seem worthy of...
However, I regret your fatal habit of looking at everything from the point of view of a story instead of a scientific exercise.
Oh, Holmes, you...
I beg your pardon, I digress. It will...
All right, we'll do this on the last. We're about to run out of space anyways, so the show is over. It's still fun the way it goes through, but us in mystery games, we're always going to be slightly frustrated.
Yeah. That is the way.
Yeah. But thanks for watching, everybody. This has been Sherlock Holmes, Crimes and Punishments on Video Games Awesome Live.